FACEOFFLive.com, presented by BixtarSports. My name is Joey Glenn. I'll be joined by Max Duffy in just a moment. And a little change at last minute, as we are going to have two teams featured from New York, from New Jersey. It is Team Exodus from New York, Team Miller out of New Jersey. Exodus wearing the dark forest green black uniforms, and Team Miller in all gray, as we are trying to put on the finishing touches to the start of this game as the scores table getting set. This was not our original matchup. Had a little mix up at the last moment, but we will have a final game for you in this, our 8-game broadcast weekend. And fortunately for the ladies on the floor, they will get this game broadcasted on BixtarSports.com and can be accessed later. So anyone who is joining us, FaceOffLive.com, presented by Bixstar Sports. We had 8 matchups this weekend. This is our final one. Again, this is Exodus, New York, and Team Miller, the Team Miller Lightning, as their mascot name reads. It is a bold, italic writing on the front. The Lightning, the first team we've seen out of any matchup we played with the last names on the back of the jerseys, which makes it much, much easier on me. But it's not about me. It's about the players on the floor, their families, the coaches, recruiters. And you can share FaceOffLive.com, again presented by Bixstar Sports. And just trying to figure out the scores table malfunctions. The scores table is typically operated by a parent, a family member of the teams playing. And as we are about to start our final match of the weekend on our broadcast, again, I want to send a shout out, a thank you to all of those here at the Peak Skills Basketball in West Berlin, New Jersey, from the building operators, those are the concessions. I got some good chicken nuggets earlier. They're really tasty. Our officials who have worked essentially, not even essentially, every game that's been played in front of us today. To our production team, which is going to include Max Duffy, who will be chiming in when he can. Max Duffy pulling double duty on the camera as well. And I think we're actually going to have a basketball game here. And tip-off about to begin, as it is Emily Kramer at the line at center court, as well as Brenna Cody for Exodus. And our first shot of the game is by Kramer, off, no good. Cody with the rebound. Again, this was a last-minute change in our matchup today. Neither of these two teams were originally scheduled to play each other. In fact, other opponents were scheduled. That shot for 3 up and just off. So we are just being handed these rosters, and I apologize in advance for any mispronunciations, any numbers that may not be on the roster. That has happened more than once. These players have received various numbers and sometimes have to check the day of the game. That's Jackson passing it out to Naomi Shorts. What a great basketball name that is. Kramer over the middle, off the glass, and good. First points of the game, and that's Tiana Joy Jackson. A nice 3-part name written in script, as she wrote it herself for me as we got the rosters. Jackson misses the pass. It's going to be kept alive. Exodus recovers. Ramirez over the court. 2-on-1 on the defensive side, as Cody needed a little bit of help, and it finally goes out of play. It's going to stay with Exodus. Excuse me, Team Miller. This game will feature AAU regulation rules, as Marmol for 3 is good. Daniela Marmol with the first three-pointer of the game. The two halves will be 16 minutes with a running clock in the first period. Foul shots, the clock will freeze. And then following 8 minutes into the second half, there will be a freeze of the clock, and it'll freeze on all stoppages of play. From the corner for three, in and out, rattled in and out, no good. Ball heading to our direction towards the red carpet. Kept in play by Ramirez. Ramina Henderson had attempted the three-pointer and just off. Looking for perhaps another one from Henderson. Moving into the paint, passes outside. Pass dropped, dribbled, going for the basket, off the glass, no good. Cody there to put it right back up and in and good. Because we got these rosters last minute, we do not have height for the players, as Shorts just a little short on that one. Ball going the other way now. We do not have heights on the players, but clearly size advantage in favor of Cody for Team Exodus. Shorts across the way and just a bit too high, as that pass was intended for Emily Kramer. 12:50, 5-2 is our early score in favor of Team Miller. Exodus with a chance to tie this game with a three. Pass across the middle, off the hands, as that pass went from Ramirez, and it was intended for Demarius Rodriguez, and just off her hands at the end. Encarnacion to Jackson, just off. Marmol, dribble it, loose ball, and now a whistle is blown. And we know now for a fact that it is on our court. There's a call. It was Demarius Rodriguez who had the ball at the time. We know for a fact that every whistle is going to be from our side, because the first time in our broadcast, there is no game going on from the right side. So there are people shooting around, and hopefully those balls do not interfere. Shorts get that ball in play. Really nice move at the end, down low. Marmol, excuse me. Encarnacion had a really nice play to keep that ball alive. Now transitioning down for Exodus. Shot is up, just off. Henderson had a good look. Shorts, ball knocked out of play by Rodriguez. Max Duffy is my companion in this journey, operating our main camera, as well as chiming in with analysis when and where he can. But we want to make sure we get the footage. Kramer is good. That is a long two for Kramer. Emily Kramer. This is also the first time that we've seen not only names on the back of the jerseys, but numbers really all over the place. We have a 44. We have a 99 on the floor as well, number 99. Lauren Lithgow. Nice move there off the glass, just off, as Kaylee Hanna creating moves. Lithgow to Marmol. Marmol deking there. Jackson. Jackson with some flashy star socks. They do not match, but I have quite the feeling that that was intentional. Jackson spin move off the rim, no good. That's a look I can't really pull off, and perhaps part of the reason is because I am not on the basketball floor. I'm off to the side. That one sinks. Khadijah Demry with the play as Jackson. Out to the side, it's called three. Off the rim, no good. Attacking. Off the transition, ball out of play, as there was a slip up on the transition, on the transfer. Henderson, her pass goes out of play, 9:50 and counting. Lithgow to inbound. Seven to 4, this has been a close one. No particular team really dominating. And Shot right down low off the top of the backboard, no good. Rebounded, put back up, no good. And now an up and down call as on Team Miller that was Dira Sidivanson. Their first appearance in this one. And that ball out of play. I stopped writing script in cursive in 3rd grade, and our players did write down their names. So similar to Ron Burgundy in the hit movie Anchorman, I will read what I see on this paper. Shot up, blocked. That's Cody, creating a lot of traffic issues. And the ball did go out of play, 7-4, as Kramer will step out, and stepping in for Team Miller, Sania Myers, her first appearance of the game. Going around the world. Back out to the left side, Jackson inside. Sinivansen. Ball gets turned over. Cody had fallen down on the play. Sinivansen with the rebound. Lithgow. Ball bounced out. Lithgow now tripping up. And foul called against Exodus. That foul in charge to Henderson. 7-4 with 7:40 and counting. Senivansen. Pass that went to Jordan Brown for 3. Could not convert. Bounce pass almost broken up there. Now over to Cody. Cody taking it down the paint. The shot off the left side of the backboard. Brown for Team Miller. Off, no good. Exodus now trying to bring it back. They are a 3 away from tying this game. Rodriguez, double team. Cody in the middle, in the paint, off to the left. Shot up. It is good by Khadijah Demry. And it is a 7-6 game now with 6:45 and counting remaining in the first half. Brown dishes it off. Lithgow inside. The scoop, no good. Sinivansen puts it back up off the glass and good. Able to convert that. As on the schoolyard, you'd call that an assist. At least I would, to make myself feel better. 9-6 game. Rodriguez looking for help, gets some separation. That ball is tipped down by Carter, goes out of play. Nikki Carter on the defense, breaks it up. And Exodus now off of the inbound, shot up, and oh, that is a heartbreaker right there. Jaden Watson had the clean look and just missed having it go in off of the inbound. Would have tied our game at 9. Carter, Lithgow, Brown, Sinivansen. Off and no good. Breakaway opportunity. And it gets stopped, tiptoe, tight roping the line to keep that ball in play. Here's a ball across the court, right back to Cody in the middle, 2-on-1. Cody lost the handle on the ball, and it gets to go by way of Team Miller and Carter to the corner. This is for 3, Lithgow, good. Lauren Lithgow rocking the numerals 9-9. Certainly the highest number we've seen today, and we're gonna have a timeout here as it is 12-6. Again, you're watching the Philly Face-Off, PhillyFaceOffLive.com, presented by BixtarSports. September 8th is the She Hoops Showcase. It'll be held at the Life Center Academy. Invitational Showcase. Girls teams from 6th grade to 11th grade. That is the She Hoops Showcase, September 8th. Mark it down now as we approach midway through May, it being May 20th. Where has this year gone? And Beast Builders Girls Basketball Camp, that is August 25th through 26th. That'll be even here sooner in West Berlin, New Jersey. BeastBuildersCamp.com. Visit that today. West Berlin, New Jersey is the city of the Peekskill Basketball Center, from which we are playing today. 15 miles due east of Philadelphia. That's for three. Off, no good. St. Avanson on the rebound to Brown. Deep pass. Carter in the corner. Back to Brown right behind the arc, looking for help. Marmol, St. Avanson sending picks. Brown. Shot up off the glass and good. Brown got a lot of help from St. Avanson and Marmol. Two forwards on the floor. Here's a high pass. Came right towards our table, but thankfully stopped and off the glass and good. That was good for Henderson, and Team Miller getting right back onto the inbound, 14-8. 4.5 remaining in the first half. Lithgow back out to Carter. Back to Lithgow again, that's for three. And no good, there was a whistle before the shot. And Max Duffy, were you able to figure out what that whistle was for?
No, I didn't catch that one, but really good ball movement by both teams, I must say, especially this Miller's team. They're really kicking it in and out. That's what's creating the three-point attempts.
Absolutely, great ball distribution, great no-look pass right there. Shot from the corner is no good, but boy, that was a great pass and a great shot. Great communication overall by this Miller team as St. Avanson makes that rebound. Encarnacion to push it with Rodriguez on her. That's into the corner. Lithgow. Lithgow loses the handle on it as she goes down with Haley Ramirez. And we'll have our first jump ball possession. I know all these players will say they're playing for the name on the front of the jersey, not the back, but I will say, as a broadcaster, this is making my job very easy, at least on one side. But not to pat myself on the back, these have been a lot of names to convert, but it has been a joy to do so, bringing you the Philly Face-Off presented by BixtarSports. Whistle before the shot on the floor. With that being said, although it's been a lot of names, it's also been a lot of talent. And Max Duffy, I'm sure you'll agree with me that throughout the action, seeing a bunch of new players and players we may be seeing play in the NCAA and perhaps on the professional level somewhere in the future. This shot for three, good. Great shot. Haley Ramirez makes it a three-point game, a one-possession game. Exodus looking for the opportunity to tie this game. Have not held the lead. Lithgow, Marmol with the entire world on her. Shot up, no good. Now looking for a chance to make this a one-point game, and they will do just that. In the right position, Khadijah Demry. It's a one-point game as those here to support Exodus getting a little louder. Lithgow to her left. Carter, one-on-one. Bring out Lithgow, has already sunk one from three today. Trying to get into the paint, and the whistle was blown. Foul call, 14-13 with under 2 minutes to go in our first half. And there'll be a halftime period of about 3 minutes. Encarnacion, St. Avanson, up off the glass, off the bottom of the backboard. And we have a foul call. I apologize, that is not St. Avanson, that is Sania Myers, another forward for this team. A lot of players you would say fit in the height of the forward. No real true center on the team. Cody for Exodus, certainly the tallest player on the floor, as that shot is good by Myers and makes it a 2-point game. Exodus with a chance to tie, with a chance to take the lead. Pass across, looking for three. That's up, that is good. And this game is tied up now after that three-pointer by Haley Ramirez. Looking for a response, Marmol. Ooh, in and out. Henderson. Cross. Demry. Demry in the corner. Back to Demry. Over. Across the middle. Looking for one in the paint. back out. Henderson, got it. Ramira Henderson makes it for three, 19-15 score. Up and good, just off. Rebounded by Exodus, looking to take advantage. 4-point lead, looking to extend it. 3-point shooting becoming more prominent as we have our final 10 seconds in the half. Henderson and Exodus have the opportunity to take the final shot of the half. 5 seconds and counting. Up, off the glass, and good. That is going to do it for our first half. 21-15, a lot of offense in our first half. We have reached our halftime period in a matchup that we were not expecting to have. Joey Glenn joined by Max Duffy here at the Philly Faceoff, phillyfaceofflive.com, presented by BixtarSports, and there you are right there, Bixstar, B-I-X-T-A-R sports.com, bringing you this broadcast today. And again, as we said, it was a matchup we weren't really expecting in the beginning, and certainly these players have the opportunity to be featured. But if you are a prospective collegiate athlete out there, not every game you have will be live streamed. So what you need to do is get your own website done ASAP, and you need to contact Brand Your Athlete, where we will design your own personal marketing site to market you as an athlete. You can feature game footage from previous played games, your upcoming schedule, contact information for your coaches, and of course, you have family across the country. They can't make it to every game. That's a perfect way to get your footage out there. 570-217-7615. Again, you can contact 570-217-7615 or visit brandyourathlete.com. And as we watch these young ladies play today, don't forget that the Beast Builders Girls Basketball Camp, sponsored by BixtarSports, will be August 25th and 26th. Visit beastbuilderscamp.com, beastbuilderscamp.com. Cam Media Live, the team that has brought you this broadcast today. You can book us for live streaming for sporting events. Get those high school kids' names out there, 570-217-7615, or simply visit cammedialive.com. And our group doing a great job today, great job this whole weekend. And even in the face of having the teams change at the last second, Max, I think we actually kind of lucked out. We're seeing a great matchup in this one. No, that's not undermining the team that was originally scheduled, but we ended up getting something really good for two teams that didn't know they're going to play each other.
Yeah, it's been a good, tough matchup. You see Exodus turn it on as of late, hitting 2 clutch threes to end out the half. Let's see how this Millers team will respond here to start off the second.
And 16 minutes remain in regulation, starting now, as now teams will switch sides, switch directions. Exodus now playing on the far end from our left to our right. A lot of ball distribution going around the world now. And shot up. Cody on the rebound. Cody cannot keep it alive, as there was a lot of ball distribution. Haley Ramirez had the opportunity for the shot, and it'll go back way of Team Miller out of New Jersey. Exodus out of New York. Shot on the foul, and just missed the opportunity for a three-point play, as that is Encarnacion, Janisa Encarnacion on the shot. She'll get a trip to the line. Looking for our first points of the second half. And it's just off. And the second shot is good. Our first score of the second half, 21-16. Largest lead of the game has been 6 points, and both teams at one point have had that value of a lead. In the paint, no foul called, as Khadijah Demry going into the paint. Daniela Marmol on the defensive coverage. Very well-balanced attack for both teams, and a nice spin move. Layup is good off the glass for Henderson. 23-16. Jackson to Marmol, had to look for three. Encarnacion back to Jackson. Jackson on the outside, Shorts. Shorts with the layup and called on the shot, Naomi Shorts. 14-23, Shorts will go to the line.
Yeah, I don't know if you noticed, Joe, but everybody was rolling to the basket, handing the ball off, consistently moving the ball, and that's what drawed the foul.
Absolutely, a lot of distributing of the ball in this one. And as I said, a very balanced approach. No real, we've seen games where, for example, in our previous broadcast, Elevate from Virginia, the three-point game, whereas this is more so looking for the high percentage shot, passing the ball around, having somewhat long possessions. And I think it's even fair to say that both teams are adjusting to each other's tempo. Over to Cody in the middle. Cody on Marmol. That's a matchup we'll see throughout this second half. Is good, 25-18. That was the opening tip-off. Marmol out to Jackson. Jackson to Naomi Shorts in the corner. Encarnacion, one-on-one. Shot up, just off the rim, no good. Jackson with the hustle gets it back. Shorts, this is for three. Good. Naomi Shorts with the three, getting the assist from Tiana Joy Jackson. Makes it a 25-21 game. Been a lot of interesting apparel choices this weekend, and as this shot is up, off, no good. As I mentioned earlier, Jackson with the star socks. One is black with gold stars, the other white, blue stars, as this will be a star play in and of itself, as Henderson, Ramina Henderson with the steal, transition, and the layup to make it 27-21. Again, the largest value of the lead has been 6 points, held by both teams at one point today. Marmol gets the shot and draws the foul off of Cody and will take a trip to the line. Marmol, Daniela Marmol, along with Brenna Cody, as substitutions coming in for Exodus. Returning, Kaylee Hanna returning. Shot is good, and it's a three-point game again. And not only are we seeing the three ball from outside the arc, but the hard-earned three ball by the field goal and one. Converted pick set, and the pass across the middle is intended for Jaden Watson, who had set the pick but didn't have enough time to react to get to the pass. 27-24, and now Team Miller will have the opportunity to tie the ball game. The Team Miller Lightning, wearing the gray uniforms with Team Miller Lightning running across. Encarnacion try to go for a shot. Grimaces as she thought she had a shot opportunity. And a whistle blown for violation. This will be a turnover. And Exodus will inbound. Henderson to Demery. The corner, that's Watson for three. Just off, no good. And that's a quick steal. That's Johnson. Quick steal and a putback by Bree Johnson. 29-24. This is a very even match game, and a shot. That was Encarnacion, was a foul on the shot. And they say, yes, Encarnacion's going to get a trip to the line. Janissa Encarnacion, number 14 for Team Miller. Team based out of New Jersey. Shot is good. Not sure if there's a home state advantage or not. These two teams not traveling super far. I think our furthest travel team, at least for our games, Georgia. Second shot is good. 29-27. Lithgow is going to re-enter the game as Encarnacion is going to earn a quick rest on the bench. Lauren Lithgow returning. Lithgow already hitting a shot from downtown. Nikki Carter also back in the game for Exodus. Pardon me, Team Miller. Exodus currently with the ball. Derry. This shot is long for 3 and off the glass and good. Haley Ramirez with a long 3-pointer. If this were the big 3, it would be a 4-pointer, I believe. Now trying to respond with one of their own, and they do, is Nikki Carter. Max, I don't think we've seen this consistent of 3-point shooting from both teams on the floor this afternoon.
Yeah, Joe, and both teams are setting their feet when taking shots, and that's what's able to generate good takes behind the arc.
Carter from coast to coast. Off the glass, no good, but very close. Marmol with the rebound, blocked, met by Watson. And Marmol put her hands up like, I didn't do nothing. She'll go to the line as they call the foul on Watson. 10:42 remaining in regulation. As a pin could drop right now. First one just off. I normally would keep talking, but it was so gosh darn quiet. Again, and these parents, these fans were not expecting this matchup as well, but you make things work.
Yeah, and they seem to be getting it in on the sidelines here.
Hell yeah.
It's going back and forth between the refs and the coaches as well
That's
as
been
showing some excitement.
Been all day as Carter showing some excitement right now. Jump ball on the floor. Yeah, that's always going to be a part of any, whether it's Little League, high school level, fans and the officials getting involved. But as I've said every broadcast, our officials deserve all the credit for all the work they've done, not just in this game. If you watch all of our 3 broadcasts from earlier, as Myers unable to get a shot in there, as Cody called for the foul. Family not happy in the stands, but the officials working the entire day. And in fact, our first broadcast was at about 12:15, and the gentleman you see on the floor working prior to that. Myers converts the first shot off the front of the rim, off the back of the glass, and good. Diva Sinnevanson coming back into the game. 32-31. Absolutely our unsung heroes of these games, the officials who, without them on the floor, we do not have a game. We don't have an interesting game or a fair game without them. You know, you play on the schoolyard, and one of those rules is always, when you didn't like a call, okay, you get the next one. Sort of like the jump ball possession, like, well, you'll get the next foul call if you didn't like the one that we had. That shot is up, off the glass, no good, off the rim. Jackson looking to make a quick transition. Off the glass, oh man, in and out, no good, a heartbreaker. Myers trying to come right off the rebound, no good. Myers and Watson fighting for it, and it's going to be a jump ball possession in favor of Exodus. 32-31, just under 9.5 to go in regulation. And I will keep emphasizing regulation as Jordan Brown, Lauren Lithgow back on the floor for Team Miller. Demery pass off left side to Henderson. Henderson playing just about every minute of this game. The pass was intended for Brenna Cody, who had the pass interrupted. And we're at 9 minutes even. Inbound across the way. Ramirez getting fouled. Sinnevanson on the defense, and Harry Ramirez getting fouled. Damaris Rodriguez to go inbound. 8:42 and counting. Ramirez looking for help. Inbounding. Demery with Brown on her. Demery moving to the left. Crashes into Sinnevanson. Cody, double team, cannot move. Trying to get the ball out. Finally gets the ball out, but it's after the whistle. It's late, 5 seconds. Cody had tight coverage by Sinnevanson as well as Myers. A nice behind the back by Lauren Lithgow, trying to do it all on her own. Sinnevanson from 2, mid-range, in and out. Another heartbreaker, and we're going to have a jump ball as travel is called, actually. And Sania Myers knew it as the whistle was called. 32-31, 8 minutes now. And now we will see the clock stop for all violations. Ball's out of play. This is for 3, and it is good. It's Haley Ramirez again. This is not her first three-pointer. It's a 35-31 game. And, almost a travel just now, but able to save it. Lithgow in the corner. Lithgow, no shot is called. It is another travel call against Team Miller. Exodus will see if they can respond to another travel call with a three-pointer. Impressive ball handling. This is Demarius Rodriguez. Rodriguez with a little floater of her own, and it's good. That was all Demarius Rodriguez on the ball that time to make it 37-31. Exodus again with their largest lead at 6. And that's a steal by Rodriguez. Lithgow tried to get in the way. Brown in the way now. Demery in the corner. Back to Rodriguez. All the way over to Ramirez. She's got that same spot for 3, and it is just off the back of the rim and no good. Lithgow with the rebound. Try to spin. Get back. Sinavanson there for the bounce pass. Whistle called. Timeout is called by Team Miller. A smart timeout indeed. And the She Hoops Showcase, again, coming up September 8th from the Life Center Academy. The teams consisting of girls teams from 6th to 11th grade. You'll be seeing players as they prepare for the next level of their student athletic career. She Hoops Showcase, September 8th. Smart timeout taken by Team Miller as Max Duffy. You'd see a lot of coverage right there and having trouble getting the ball past half court.
Yeah, it's been a difficult task for Team Miller to inbound or do really anything as Exodus is really collapsing them on defense and really causing problems in the offensive end.
And while we have a 6-point game here in favor of Exodus, never really a point where either team felt like the game was out of hand. Again, 6 points was the largest lead we've seen so far, and this has been a very balanced game. And for our final broadcast of the weekend, certainly a great one that we didn't think we were going to have. Encarnacion receives the inbound. One-on-one with Jack Johnson. Off to the side. Carter gets met by Ramirez. One-on-one bounce pass. Sinavanson drawing 3 Exodus team members and draws the foul. Sinavanson will go to the line. And that first shot is good. 37-32 with 6:41 remaining in regulation. Second is good. Davia Sinavanson converting both foul shots to make it a 37-33 game, a technical one-possession game, which would have to consist of a successful three-point shot and a foul on that shot. This is from 3, no foul there. Up and no good. Sinavanson, wow, really commanding the glass right there. Brown on her own. Good. Off the glass and had to get around Watson to convert that, and it's a 2-point game. Ramirez to Watson. Watson thinking about it. She's going to go for 3, and it is off the front of the rim, no good. Carter on the rebound. Brown pressing down the right side, looking for help. Pass, jump ball, Sinavanson. She has help, and finally a travel is called. Was looking for Encarnacion and Myers were the 2 closest teammates, but great coverage on defense by Exodus. And they force a turnover. 5:45 remaining in regulation, Exodus. Demery with Encarnacion on her to the right side. Henderson. Johnson gets some help from Cody across the way. And block. Cody getting triple teamed. Falls hard to the ground without a call. And I mean fell hard to the ground. And a travel call on the transition. Kaylee Hanna set up Cody for a potential shot down low, and in the midst of getting the ball up, Cody took a hard fall and a whistle on the play, as we may have a towel malfunction or a floor malfunction, and one of our officials grabbing the official towel, which does meet towel regulations. Max Duffy, I don't know if you checked the towel regulation handbook prior to today's start. Did you get those materials?
I did not.
No? Grant, I know this isn't a major network or a professional league, but you, to all the young broadcasters who out there who may want to do this someday, make sure you get all materials prior to start of the game, including information about the towels being used to wipe up the floor. This is Johnson trying to wipe the floor with Brown. Gets it outside. Hanna with Jackson on her. One-on-one. Cody set the pick. It's still Hanna. Now finally dumps it off to Demery. And holding on a little bit for coach's guidance. Encarnacion is on Demery. Crosses over. Cody down low. Cannot get it. Encarnacion with the rebound. No call on the fall. Encarnacion. It's all her. Sinnevanson. That is for two, and it's off the front of the rim. Gets the rebound off the tip, and good off the glass. The game is tied as Sinnevanson with Marmol really pumped up in her face after that, and we are tied under 4.5. 37-37, high-scoring game, but it's not even a matter of failing defense. This has just been a really well-balanced game and a thriller for our final broadcast of the weekend. 4-12 with that ball going out of play. This is game number 8 out of our 8 broadcasts, and all of them up here on PhillyFaceOffLive.com, also kept on YouTube. So if you are one of the players featured in today's game, checking out your highlights later, thank you for participating today, especially given your last-minute adjustment to a team you did not think you were going to play on both ends. Brown thumbs off to Jackson. Strong pass to Sinnevanson off the glass, just off, no good. Both teams looking for the lead. What a nice move by Henderson, but it's just off. Marmol with the rebound. Who will get the lead? Dumps off. Encarnacion thought about three. Pump fake. A whistle called, and the ball is going to go the other way. 3:43 with the game tied at 37. Demery dumps off to the left to Rodriguez. Rodriguez with a outmatched defender. Henderson across the way. Ramirez, nice pick set. Shot off from the corner is good. That is for two. As Khadijah Demery, after all the setup, now Encarnacion and Miller to respond. Foul on the play as Encarnacion took that in and got fouled by Demarius Rodriguez. 3 of 3. And we await the result. That first one is good as I had to put out my PGA Tour pause. 3:03 in regulation. Game tied. Encarnacion ties it up. Janissa Encarnacion, and we're going to have a timeout right at the tie. 3 minutes and a tick. And again, the players featured in today's game were fortunate to be featured on the Philly Face-Off live stream presented by BixtarSports. And just because you're not on the Philly Face-Off live stream doesn't mean that you cannot get your name out there. Get your own website done ASAP through brandyourathlete.com. We designed the site. All you got to do is play. You can get your highlights, get your stats, contact information on the site. Again, visit brandyourathlete.com, contact 4-3-5, 19-25. 3 minutes and a second left. Max Duffy, we have a tied ball game at 39.
And it's been interesting, you know, coming down the stretch. I've seen Cody on Exodus use the pick, but they're not utilizing the roll. And it would be interesting to see if they try to go to that towards the end of this second half in our final game.
3 minutes and a second left in regulation. My name is Joey Glenn, and I'm joined by Max Duffy along with the rest of our team broadcasting PhillyFaceOffLive.com, presented by BixtarSports. Team Exodus from New York. Team Miller, St. Avanson across Encarnacion. The team out of New York sinks it. Team out of New Jersey, Exodus out of New York. 2.5, 35 and counting. Henderson with Encarnacion on, and we're gonna get our foul at 2:29. And the clock, everyone will keep their eyes on the clock as we wrap up. We get close to wrapping up regulation. And I emphasize regulation. That pass going to Demery behind half-court line. Watson with the pick. Over to Ramirez. Ramirez drawing a lot of attention for her three-point shooting today, and Marmol gets the steal. Jackson on the left side, back to the center, calling for a play. 2:10 and counting. Jackson across the middle to Marmol. Marmol draws contact, no foul call. 2 minutes to go. In trouble there is Exodus. Jackson on the steal. Brown, can she convert? It's off. Marmol chasing it. And that ball was touched and out of play at the last moment. It was touched by Demarius Rodriguez. And credit the hustle there. The ball is going to stay with Team Miller, who has the 41-39 lead at the moment with 1:50 in regulation. This has been a close game all throughout. The lead being no larger by any team by more than 6 points. Back to Encarnacion for three. Oh, air ball just sailed a little too hard. Trying to get the ball out, and now foul is called as getting trapped with Sanaya Myers in the corner of the near side. 1 minute, 40 seconds left to go. Exodus with the opportunity to take the tie, take the lead. Double team. Timeout is called as Team Miller very aggressive with the defense. 1:31, 41-39. And we are going to see how this plays out. Again, this is our final matchup of the weekend. What a matchup to get for our final broadcast, Max.
Yeah, especially when it was unexpected. And honestly, Exodus may have used their last timeout with 1:31 remaining. So it'll be interesting to see what they do moving forward. If they need a stoppage in play, you know, it could come down to the wire where they got to toss up a shot in the final couple seconds and have to go full court.
We have not seen any game in our broadcast or in between our broadcasts go to an overtime period. The sudden death rules is first to two or more win the game, so essentially the first to score a field goal wins the game, or 2 free throws, but we are not at that stage yet. It is 41-39 as the officials wiping the sweat off their faces, and again, they have worked very hard throughout this afternoon. Temperature inside the building, now will be discussion about the clock or the scoreboard. It is still at 41-39. And finally, whatever clarification is, we're still having discussion here by two coaches and a ref. And now whatever is clarified is clarified. We are back to play. Henderson getting the pick by Watson. To Watson. Back to Henderson on the right. Watson over to the left side. Demery. Spin move, up, off, no good. Marmol with the rebound, 1:09. Team Miller with the 2-point lead. An opportunity with a 3 to make it a 2-possession game. Encarnacion slipping, trying to get the ball away. Marmol, 54 seconds and counting. Jackson behind her, dishes it off to Jackson. handoff style. Jackson, 43 seconds and counting. Jackson, Encarnacion, at what point will Exodus make a foul? 34 seconds and counting. Brown on the far side, and finally we have a whistle call on a foul, and committing the foul, Jaden Watson for Exodus. A lot of clock burned on that with 31.4 seconds remaining. Inbounding will be Jordan Brown with Demery interface that goes to Jackson behind back court, and a foul called immediately as Haley Ramirez, as Tiana Joy Jackson received the inbound from behind half court. And she will have a trip to the line, 41-39, an opportunity to make this a 3 or 4 point game. And the one-on-one is missed, and now the ball goes out. Who touched it last? It looked like Marmol was there last, but they're going to say it was out on Cody of Exodus, and Brown will once again inbound. 41-39, 26.3 seconds left in this matchup between Exodus of New York, Team Miller of New Jersey. Jackson receiving the inbound, aggressive defense, double team. Jackson getting stuck, gets it to Marmol. Very aggressive defense by Henderson, and the ball out of play. It's going to go by way of Exodus, 17.4, 41-39. A chance to tie it, a chance to take the lead, and now some sort of pause between the officials and a little bit of frustration by Exodus trying to get the ball out. They do now, 17-4. Brown, Jackson, very aggressive on defense. 16 seconds. Henderson moving it down very quick. Aggressive defense. Henderson has an opportunity. This is for 3. Foul called on the shot. That is going to be 3 shots at the line. Or 2. We see a 2 coming from the official. We see 2. 1. Joking around saying 1 shot. Now there's 3. Now we're saying 3. We're coming to an agreement with 3 as our officials teasing the crowd and pointing and saying 1 shot. But that, unfortunately, we do not have access to Secaucus to look at replays. And our camera's going to tell so much. That wasn't deep in the corner. And now we pause as perhaps we're trying to get the gentleman playing on the far end to halt play. 5 3/10. Remains that first shot is off. For all the fans who are calling for the shot, the total shots, the play happened in the deep far end of the corner where it'd be hard for either one of our cameras to pick up that shot. That's good. 1 point game, 5 3/10 left. Let's see how this one's going to finish out. Ramina Henderson, opportunity to tie the game. And this game is tied. 5 3/10. Miller, Team Miller can go for the foul shot. Encarnacion. And, a foul. Foul called on Haley Ramirez. 2 4/10, and that's going to take Janissa Encarnacion to the line. Tied up at 41. And the first shot is good. As it is a 1-on-1, 42-41, 2 4/10 remain. In this one, Exodus will have a chance for a play. We'll see what Encarnacion goes for the bucket here. She does, it's good. 2 4/10 left, and that will mean Exodus is forced to call timeout. And Max, what did you see on that play as there was a foul called on the line?
Yeah, it's a tough call to make, and it's not one you want to have to call at the end of a game with 5 seconds remaining. But what the ref was saying was that he saw a push, and when you see that.
Absolutely. And it looked like from our end that there was a push to kind of really throw Encarnacion off balance and potentially even push her out of play. So 2 4/10 of a second remain. Exodus will have an opportunity to decide the game. They can go for the tie, a three-pointer, and this team, Exodus, has had some sharp three-point shooting by likes of Haley Ramirez. And, of course, Brenna Cody posted up down low to get one off the glass, but 2 4/10 of a second, and we will see what play. It could very likely be a three-point ball just out of desperation.
And it's going to be have to be a half-court heave to inbound to try and get off a shot with only 2 seconds remaining.
2 4/10 of a second, 4/10 what you need to release the ball. Inbounded. Henderson is fouled immediately. Henderson is fouled by Jackson right off of the inbound. There's a 2 4/10 of a second remaining, but it does not go to the line. And now back to square one for Exodus. What a game. Again, a matchup that was not originally on our schedule. These two teams not scheduled, yeah.
And that was a smart move, Joe. I mean, taking that foul there and not worrying about shooting 1-and-1. I mean, now you have to inbound with 1.4 seconds.
Here we go. Henderson cannot get the handle on it. That's going to do it. And, oh, really dragged down there at the end. And that is going to do it. No, they're going to call the foul. How about that? Oh, man. This is some ending right here. They're going to call that foul as she got dragged down there at the end. We have no time on the clock. And that would be 3 shots at the line if it's going to the line. Officials meeting. Wow, what a final game for our broadcast. We're not finished yet, but man, oh man, this is crazy.
And there's no need to foul there, Joe. There's no need to grab her and pull her to the ground.
1 second is pulled on. 1 second is put on the clock, and that's behind half court too. That should be an automatic trip to the line, and here we go. Ramina Henderson. First shot is good. 43-42. 1 second on the clock. Philly face-off. PhillyFaceOffLive.com, BixtarSports. This game is tied up. This game is tied at 43. And the ball's going back to the officials. And we are a second away, barring a heave, a hope and a prayer from potential sudden death. Inbounded. Henderson only has a second. The shot is up. A whistle was blown beforehand. And that is it for regulation. And what did I say? Did I set this up? We did not see a sudden death game. We will now, in a crazy sequence of events, late fouls, very late fouls, surprising fouls. We've had the buzzer go off twice, and we are tied at 43. What a strong and even matchup between these two teams who, once again, were not scheduled to face each other due to conflicts and complications. These two teams, at the last minute, face each other. As a matter of fact, on our far end of the court, where typically a second game is being played, Team Miller was warming up. Exodus was on our court warming up, and at the last minute pulled it off that we would have this matchup, and did not expect this whatsoever. Joey Glenn joined by Max Duffy here. This is the Philly Face-Off, PhillyFaceOffLive.com, presented by BixtarSports, and we're going to be working a little extra overtime today, as it is now 5:20 local time, Eastern time.
Yeah, Joe, and going back to the final possession, you make a really smart move by drawing the foul, forcing them to inbound with only a 1.4 seconds left, and then you take another foul that sends them to the line to tie the game.
Ramina Henderson making both shots, and that's the typical thing you're dreaming about in the backyard practicing. And the gym got quiet. I didn't want to speak. I know the microphones were right up to my mouth, but I didn't even want to speak.
Right, you could hear the sound of a pin drop hit the floor with Ramina Henderson shooting those free throws, and that was her second opportunity to tie the game with just under a minute.
So according to my rule sheet, the first to 2 or more wins the game. That is sudden. It's sudden death. So a field goal would end it. 2 foul shots would end it. No time on the clock. And Sinavanson, Cody at the line. And we will wait and see. Tip off. Cody slaps it, goes to Encarnacion, and a whistle right away. And the ball is going to go to Exodus. Violation right off the tip-off. Exodus of New York, Team Miller of New Jersey. Ball goes into Demery. Demery with Jackson guarding her. One-on-one, stare down. Crossover left, Demery to Cody. Cody looking across for Henderson. Henderson sending this game into OT with her foul shots at the line. Henderson with Brown on her. Spin move. Henderson looking for the opening. Demery comes back around to help with Brown on her. Demery crossover. Shot up off the glass, no good. Cody puts it back up, and it is good. That will do it. Brenna Cody ends it with a rebound and a shot off the glass set up by Ramina Henderson. And wow, what a way to end it here as Exodus in this spontaneous matchup wins it. And Max Duffy, what a way to end this weekend for our broadcasts. We will have 2 of our star players in just a moment, and I'll be right back with those. I'm joined Ramina Henderson, Brenna Cody after the end of that thriller that ended up going into overtime, sudden death, 45-43 the score for Exodus. And Brenna, did you know, you knew you weren't playing this team. This kind of just happened on the spot. So what were your coaches kind of talking about as you were trying to prepare for this spontaneous game?
He just said that anyone we played, we had to go out there and play our best. And I struggled early in the game, but I was just glad that we could finish it the way we did.
All eyes were you on the end. What were your thoughts on that final foul of regulation and then going to the line with really, we thought the game was over?
Well, to me, I thought like when I had the and one on the 3, well, it didn't make the 3, but when I had that and I missed the first one, I just know that we had to come back since it was a tie game, that if I had to knock down those shots, that I was going to have to do it, go into overtime for my team. And
then kind of briefly take me through that last play that ended up getting the ball to Brenna on a rebound. What were you kind of looking for? What was the play that was drawn up? And knowing that it's sudden death, what was overall the strategy? Initially, we were looking for the 3, but it wasn't open, so you got to play outside of that. You got to look in to see who's wide open. I want to thank these 2 for joining me, congratulating Exodus in New York once again for the win, 47-45 in sudden death. That is it for this game. PhillyFaceOffLive.com, presented by BixtarSports. Ladies, thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you. Congrats.